Hi guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having an awesome day. Y'all, we are going to do something so tiny, but so stinking cute. Stay tuned. So welcome to my channel. This is where we do some amazing paper crafts, share some awesome techniques, and maybe just reinvigorate that crafting spark or that crafting mojo that is in everyone. And here is what we're going to be making today. So for those of you who are not subscribers to my channel, and there are a lot of you watching right now who aren't, please hit that subscribe button because I'd love to have you come along on this journey with us. Today's project is super, super cute. It is, like I said, tiny, but it packs a punch. And what this is just a little tiny book bag. And it literally is a book bag because when we open it, and I have this one closed with magnets, but when we open it, on the inside, we have two absolutely adorable little books that you can give to someone for Christmas. This makes such a sweet little gift because not only are they stylish, they're small enough to drop in the purse. They're perfect for just writing a daily devotional. They're perfect for just writing down anything. These little books are super simple to make. We are doubling them up, 2 in a pack. Then we created, and then I decided that I would create this cute little book bag to hold our 2 sweet little books. And on the back, I even have a sweet little pocket where if you want, you can tuck in a tag or a gift card. Anything that you might want to tuck in there. So y'all know what time it is. It's time to make it. So here is what we're going to need to make our project. And we are going to make this step by step today. We are going to need 4 pieces of chipboard that measure 3 by 4. Then I have a scrap piece of chipboard that I'm pulling in. Then I have some paper scrap that'll be left over when we cut down our paper that we'll also be using. Then I have my decorative piece for the front. I have a strap that measures 1.5 by 7. I have 2 pieces of beautiful 12 by 6 cardstock. And then I have 1 piece of 8 3/4 by 9-inch cardstock. And all of this paper is from Graphic 45's Bloom collection. The 3 pages that I'm using: Life is Beautiful, Grow with Love, and Dainty Blossoms. For those of you who are members of my monthly club, as always, I will send out a community post to you guys with all of this information listed, along with all of the supplies that you will need to make this project. For those of you who are not members of my monthly club, I will have a supply list for this project on my website, and that information will be in the description box below. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the piece that measures 1.5 by 7 because we need to make a handle, and I like to make my handles first so that the glue can set up. All I'm going to do is take that piece and fold it into thirds, and then I'm going to glue it down. And so now I'll take my glue. I'm just going to place my glue right here in the middle to start. Take one side of this and get that stuck. Bring in my big old spatula and get that stuck. And then I'm going to just take my glue, place it on that end, fold that over. We'll get that stuck. Now you can take this and just roll it along your spatula, your desk, your ruler, whatever, because we really want to help that glue to spread out, but we also want to help our handle to have a curve to it. So now I'm going to set that handle to the side because we don't need to work with it right now. So the next thing that I am going to do, guys, is I am going to take my book pages, and I have 12 sheets that are cut at 2 3/4 by 3 7/8, and I'm using a heavyweight cardstock for this. So my pages in my book will definitely have some heft and weight to them. So all I'm doing is I am taking my clips, and I got these clips at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to go ahead and place my glue on this so these will have a chance to dry. So what I'm going to do is just place dots of glue. Then I'll take my finger, spread it out, because that just gives me better control of getting that glue down. So I'm going to do this twice. Then I'll set it off to the side. I'm going to make sure that I don't have any glue on the pages. Then I'll set this off to the side so that it can dry. I'm going to bring in my second book, and we're going to do the same thing. So I'm basically just getting these aligned. I'll take my Dollar Tree clips, and then I'm going to take my glue and just place dots across these pages. Then I'll come back with my fingers and just get that glue worked into that paper. Now I'm going to just set it off to the side, let it dry. So now we're going to bring in our decorative paper that measures 6 by 12 and our 4 pieces of chipboard that measure 3 by 4. And I am just going to take these and place them down on my board just like this. And when I place them down, I'm going to be giving myself about 3/8 of an inch in spacing between the chipboard. So normally I do about 1/8 of an inch. This time I'm going to do 3 times that amount. And basically I'm eyeballing this, but if you want, you can take your ruler, place it, and when you have 3/8 of an inch, just place that down. Now we're going to do this assembly style, so I am going to go ahead and do my second one. So I am just removing my tape from my 3 by 4 inch pieces of chipboard. And I'm going to just line this up with this one so that I can sort of have my placement the same. So I'm going to put this down. Then I'll take this piece and I'm going to put it down, giving myself about 3/8 of an inch in spacing. Then all I'm going to do is trim off on this end, just like that, and then trim there to reduce this. So let's do the same thing over here. And you want to make sure that you save this piece because it becomes your inside liner for these books. So you're able to make 2 of these books from 1 piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to take my stylus, and I'm taking the stylus, pressing it against the chipboard, and then I'll just drive it down into my paper. What this does is it loosens up my fibers so that if my paper has a natural tendency to crack, it might help to minimize that. So let's go ahead and we're going to do all the way around this because I really want to make sure that my spine is nice and loose as well. And just make sure you go over it just a couple of times. And so now we can take our beautiful project and we can just go back and just sort of reinforce those scores so that our project will fold nice and neatly. So now all we're going to do is we are going to miter our corners, and by mitering, all we're doing is going in on the corner and taking out some so that we can fold it over like that. So now that we have all of our mitering done, I am going to use my tape runner and just place tape on these outer flaps before I fold them in. You can glue this, you can use double stick tape. I'm just using my tape runner. It's what happens to be out right now. Plus, when I lay down my liner, it's really going to help to hold the side flaps in. So now I'll just take these. We're going to fold them over, and I'll get them stuck using my handy dandy big old spatula. And I might have to go over it a couple of times. And you can see what a beautiful little book we're going to have. So I'm going to do the same thing on this one. And I am just giving that a really good burnish. And now I'll just stand this up, and I'm just going to work those spine pieces just like that. Now we have our two book jackets, and now we have our two scrap pieces. They're already 6 inches long, and we are going to cut these down to 6 by 3 7/8 inch. So I'm bringing in my trimmer, and I am trimming this down to 3 7/8 inch because it's already 6 inches long. So then all we need to do is apply some adhesive to the back of this or to our chipboard. Just make sure you get your edges nice and covered. And then we're going to place that down on the inside. Okay, so I'm going to take my piece and just place it down. Try to get it even. Now, if you don't want this wide of a border on the sides on yours, you can cut out a new piece of paper, but I really wanted to use all that I had without having to cut into a new piece. So all I'm doing here is going along that spine, making sure that I get that spine nice and crisp, and then I'll hold it up like this. And what I'm looking for, I'm looking to see if I have any paper bubbling, and I don't. So now we'll take this piece and do the same thing. So we're going to take it and place it down like that, and I'll use my big old spatula just to get everything nice and stuck, and then I'll just come in using the point of that spatula and just taking it and reinforcing my spine. And then I can take this and stand it up and get my spine nice and crisp. Then I'll take my big old spatula, and I'm going to go around the edges of my book just to kind of make sure that everything is nice and crisp looking. Now, wasn't that easy and quick? So now we have our two books, and they are so delightfully cute. So we're going to take our pages that are now dry, and you'll know they're dry because you'll see this sheen on the top. So this time we're going to take our glue, place little dots of glue again, And then I'm going to take my fingers, and I'm only going to place that glue down once this time. And I'm spreading the glue out. And then I'm just going to take my book insert pages and get them stuck to the center of my spine. And I'll press down just like that. Then I'm going to lift up using my spatula. I will apply some pressure. Then I can close my book, and you guys see what a sweet little book I have here. And we're going to do the same thing with this one. So I'll bring in my second insert. We are going to place some glue dots, wet glue dots. And I am just going to smooth it out like that. Now I can take this piece, and we're simply placing it in the center of our spine. I'm going to bring it over and look at it just to make sure that I have it nice and even. And then once I have it where I like it, I will just press this down into place. Once I have it where I like it, I will press it down into place. Then I'll stand it up, use my fingers to go along the back. Then I'll use my big old spatula just to apply some pressure. Now I can close this one, and I have my second sweet book. Guys, these are so stinking cute. So now we're going to take these, set them to the side, and we are going to make that sweet little book bag. So grab your 9 by 8 3/4 inch cardstock, and on the 9-inch side, we are going to score this at 3 1/4, at 4 1/8, at 7 3/8, and at 8 1/4. Then we're going to rotate it to the 8 3/4 inch side, and we're going to score this at 7/8 inch, at 5 1/8, and at 6. And then we are going to fold and burnish all of our scores. This is going to be an easy peasy bag, but we are going to reinforce it, but we won't be reinforcing it with chipboard. So now we're going to have this, and we are going to come to this thin flap right here. This is the glue flap. So when you place it down, you're going to have a long rectangle right here, and we're just going to remove that completely. And then we'll come to this bottom flap, and we are going to remove that small corner piece completely. So now we have this, and now we'll have this fold line here. So we've got this long flap. We need to go up to that fold line, drag straight down, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to go up to that fold line, drag straight down to free up these two tabs. Then we'll turn it, and we're going to do the same thing at the bottom. So wherever you have tabs, just drag straight down to free those. So here at the bottom, I am going to go ahead and just angle these tabs just a little. So now that we have these cut out, we need to actually go ahead and remove all of this, but we also have another fold line that we need to cut up to. So it's going to look like this right now. Sorry for the confusion, guys. My eyes didn't even see my other score mark, but we are going to have these tabs. And then we're going to have score marks beyond those. Let's go ahead and cut up to that score mark on all of these. So now what we have is this. And these will have a bend in them. So we can trim off that bend. And now we'll have this. And then we're also going to have this little tab piece here that I should have cut off when I was cutting down the glue flap, and I didn't. And I hope all of this is making sense. I hope that I haven't confused you. So we're going to angle in here on this tab and angle here on that tab, and then we'll angle here and we will angle here. So when you're finished, this is what your project piece should look like. So basically you're going to have two long flaps like these two that will have a bend in them, and that's exactly what you want. And then you want the smaller flaps that will fold in. So now we're going to pretend that we're putting this box together so that we can find the front and the back. So wherever your back flap is, that is the flap that we'll be using to close the box. So we're going to open this up and take that opposite flap and just fold it inside, because that will give us some reinforcement on our box. So I am going to do this with my tape runner. So I'm just adding some tape. I'm going to fold that in just like that. So now we have that nice little reinforcement to our box, but we also have some scraps. So I'm going to take some of my scrap and I'm just going to cut off a piece. I'm not even going to measure this, because I am going to take this piece and just put it right there, just to add some extra stability using my scrap. So I'll take this piece. We're going to place it in just like that. Now we can glue this together. So I'm going to take my glue, place it on my glue flap. I'll bring this over and I'm going to match it, making sure that my score marks actually are aligned. So let's get that matched. We'll match that there. And you guys can see that we have a sweet little flat fold. And now when I open this, we are ready to actually close our box. But before we do, I am going to go ahead and just take one of my magnets and place it on the inside. And I'm going to use some glue, and I'm just going to take it and stick it. Hopefully you guys are able to see that inside. I stuck it right there. So now I'm going to take it and we're going to close the box. So I'm folding in those sides, take my glue, place my glue there, fold up that piece. Then I'll take my glue, put it there, and we're going to fold that piece. Then I'm going to take my books and just go ahead and put them in the box, because that'll help me to make sure that my box truly is nice and squared. So now I'll fold in my flaps just like that, bring that over the top, and this is how this is going to close. So here is what I'm doing on my closure. I have this little piece, it was a cut apart, that I took from my project paper. I'm adding some glue to the back, and I'm going to take this and just place it down like that. Go around this. And cut it out. And then I'm going to take another piece of my scrap apply some glue to the back side of this and just place it down just like this. So let me get that stuck, and I'll trim out this piece, and we're going to get this whole piece removed like this. And that's how that's going to look. So then I can just take my glue, place my glue at the top of this piece. We're going to put it down just like this and get that stuck. And so now I'll use my big old spatula to get that stuck. And so I'll bring in my second magnet, let it catch. So I have placed a glue dot on that magnet, and then I'm going to put it down so that it can catch my paper. Then when I lift it, my magnet is nice and stuck. And so we have our little book bag. But we want to go ahead and add that handle. So I'm bringing the handle back in, and I'm taking my edges, and I have folded them in about 1/4 inch. I'm going to take some glue. You can use wet glue or hot glue. I'm using my Reptile Glue, and I am going to take this and place it down on my project just like this. And then once you have it stuck, it's going to look like that. You can play around with your handle. And now I'm just going to cut out a piece for my pocket. I am going to go with a pocket piece that is 3.5 by 3. I am going to just score this at 3/4 inch. And then I'm going to take this, and this time on the back, I'm going to put it down with the contrasting color being out. So I'm going to add some glue, place my glue on that piece. Then I'm just going to give this piece a slight curl. So then I can take this piece and we're going to put it on the back just like that. I am going to add my glue to 3 sides. And then we'll get it stuck. And guys, I think this is really stinking cute. You have got your mini little pocket on the back of your mini book bag, and on the inside, you have got 2 of the sweetest little books on planet Earth. And look at how sweet these are. They are so tiny, but so cute. So easy to make. And this makes a sweet little stocking stuffer or Secret Santa or anytime gift for someone that you want to give just a little something to. So guys, I hope that you have liked this project. And if you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join. You guys, have a great day. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.